Over the glad waters of the dark blue sea, our thoughts as boundless and our souls are free. Well, sailing experience varies in line with the size and nature of the vessel and her voyage. I will tell you what is it like to sail as a navigating officer on an oil tanker ship. Hello and welcome. I have created this documentary of the life of a sailor in my whole tenure on board this massive oil tanker, on which I tried to cover up all the operations and segments en route this voyage. I have tried to take the footages of the ship only and only in the non-hazardous areas, ensuring that the operation of the routine ship isn't hampered and keeping safety into account. I have subcategorized the vlog into small segments for an elaborative explanation, so just lay back and enjoy.
This time going to be loading at Agbami, West Africa, and we'll carry this cargo of over 1 million barrels of crude oil to Brisbane on the east coast of Australia. En route, we're going to be stopping at Las Palmas in the Gran Canary Islands, and we'll take on fuel there for the rest of the voyage. Our expected arrival at Agbami should be around the 25th of May, and then we should be around for a couple of days till we load the ship before we get underway to Brisbane. En route, we have a planned stop at Cape Town for picking up some provisions for the ship and for a bit of crew change and some stores. It's a long voyage to Brisbane, 10,000 nautical miles, over 18,000 kilometers. Once we leave the Cape of Good Hope and before we make landfall again at Cape Leuven, is a 20 days stretch of ocean navigation with no land in sight, no recourse to any outside help, out of helicopter range, and totally on our own.
Navigation is the art of safely taking a ship from port to port across vast expanses of ocean. This skill has been practiced over millennia, but today's seafarers have the advantage of modern technology. With the advent of GPS, a ship's position is updated continuously and accurately. Despite this, I still practice the art of using the heavenly bodies to ascertain where I'm located on this planet. Given a sextant, a chronometer, and a nautical almanac, I accurately determine my ship's position. This is a task that is never taken lightly because the sea is a perilous and unforgiving environment. The bridge team is aware of the multiple hazards present at the sea and is highly motivated and well trained to deal with them. It means the supplies and equipment required for the operation and upkeep of a ship were inventories carried on board of a ship to meet its daily requirements, such as food, water, cleaning supplies, medical supplies, safety supplies, spare part, etc. Seafarers have to update the requisition of the replenishment items in advance to meet its daily requirements. For example, the chief cook, chief officer, second engineer, second officer have to make a requisition list to order food, deck stores, engine stores, medical supplies respectively. Apart from this, safety supplies, spare parts are being ordered as per requirements. Crew change, CTM, internet cards, souvenir items are also an important aspect of underway replenishment stopover. Coming out onto the open deck, I see a huge expanse of steel and a labyrinth of pipes of all sizes ranging from a few inches to a few feet in diameter. The deck of my ship covers an area of about 3.5 acres, all metal and exposed to the elements and corrosive salinity of the sea. Maintaining the mass of steel is an ongoing battle between the deck crew and the nature. Hundreds of man-hours are spent every month on derusting the steel work and coating it with protective paints. Add to this the task of lubricating every moving part of deck machinery, and one has a Herculean task on hand. A team of 8 men, led by the bosun, are on the toes throughout their tenure on board to keep the ship in immaculate condition at all times. They carry out this arduous task with the help of hand and power tools. Working on a rolling, pitching, heaving and swaying deck is not for the faint-hearted. They need to perform their work under the most exacting conditions, on an ever-moving surface and in extremes of temperatures.
Carry out all the checks which we can do at the same time.
The drills and the training sessions are conducted weekly or monthly as per drill schedules. The purpose of carrying out any kind of drill on the ships is to make the crew acquainted with various procedures to be followed during emergency situations. It is a way to make the ship personnel acquainted with the equipment and the methods that are to be used during a crisis situation. Is it all work and no play on board? The answer is an emphatic no. There are multiple avenues for recreation on board, but the crew makes the best of it. There is large content of movies, TV series, and other entertaining programs available on board. Besides this, there is a well-stocked library of novels, and magazines and new ones are added from time to time. Weekend evenings are fun when the crew chills out with a can of beer and I can hear the sound of singing from the recreation room. A karaoke system brings out the hidden talent and there is hours of singing fun. Occasional parties liven up the atmosphere and there are few good musicians on board who can play the guitar and drums like professionals. With advent of satellite internet on board, the life of crew has undergone a sea change. Everyone is connected with the family and friends and it does a lot to dispel the loneliness at sea. Phone and video calls and receiving photos and videos from home are a great stress buster. There is a gym with weights, treadmill and a table tennis table available and evenings are a busy time in the gym. Seafarers like to keep fit and healthy and work out regularly. Where there are people, there has to be food. The cook and his 2 catering boys work every day of the week to keep the crew well fed and the living areas ship shape. With 3 nationalities on board, there is a variety of food prepared to cater to their varied tastes. Add to this the washing of dishes, cleaning the galley and cold rooms, laundering the ship's linen, cleaning the living areas, managing garbage and sundry tasks, and the catering staff has its hands full. The galley comes alive at 5 in the morning when the cooking hot plates are switched on. Being an oil tanker, there is no open flame cooking on board. Safety is paramount and cooking whilst the ship rolls and pitches is fraught with danger. The cook has to requisition food and have adequate stocks to last for up to 3 months at a time. High levels of hygiene must be maintained as the ship is subject to inspection by the health authorities at any port that she calls. Kudos to this dedicated team for this tireless effort. They do not even have a weekend off to break the monotony of their mundane routine.